Welcome in, welcome in. It is Friday. Let's get a bigger screen there. Hey, it's Friday. We made it. We made it. It's been a crazy week, right? It has been so much going on, but we have made it to Friday. We did just have PPI news dropped. I think yesterday I said we had PMI, but I meant to say PPI. So we just had PPI news dropped. And what else do we have today? At 7 a.m. PST, so 10 a.m. EST, we have the inflation expectations and consumer sentiment as well. So we do want to be mindful of that. We do have FOMC speaker as well an hour after that. But it says William, so it shouldn't be nothing major, but always, just be ears to the ground, right? Or eyes to the screen, however you want to look at it, right? For when we have any news that may potentially move the market against whatever idea you currently have in for the market. But yeah, welcome in. Let's see what we have in the charts today. Hello everyone that's here. Let's get some background music going and see what we have. All right, let me make it bigger. There we go. I'm going to start here on a daily as always. I did hide our drawings just to just get a better overview right now of what's happening. It looks like we're holding this area of support thus far. We did push up now to this 20, but we see that we are still rejecting this area thus far. Yesterday we rejected this area. Now currently we have this inside bar because we're in between the previous day high and the previous day low. Yeah, from what I can tell, this big green candle was a huge bullish engulfing candle. We haven't taken it out yet. Right now, it's just acting. I don't know. Right now, it's kind of like consolidating, if you will, up in this area above these two previous candles as well, right? So we kind of have a support right here. We could see. Oh, is it too small? Let's see. Yeah. All right. So we see these two wicks of these previous candles right here. And I was saying that this is sort of support that we're holding right now, right? Price is pushing off of that zone because yesterday we couldn't break that bullish candle that we created on, it says the 9th. I don't even know what day that was. Was today the 11th? So Wednesday, was that Wednesday when that happened? Whatever the case, yeah, we're currently having inside bar, and we're just still bearish currently overall. Again, yesterday I went through the higher low, lower highs. This could be the turning point, right? But we would need to continue to break up, right? If this is going to be a continued bullish sentiment or trend, right? Again, right now, currently, it's just still we're just still playing as a bearish tone, right? But again, yeah, breaking above. I believe I said like a full break in a sense of possibly here. What's that, 2,500? Something around here because we have this consolidation, right? So breaking above there would kind of turn me to like, okay, right? Like we're, so if we and start consolidating above, this zone here, start consolidating in here, and maybe see some more upside, right? But again, right now we're just still bearish. So based on the daily, however, we're intraday traders, right? So we can find bullish long setups, short setups. We are holding this support too, right? So I would keep that in mind right now. We're holding a certain support area. So also, that's giving me that, we may want to see some more upside, right? Not sure for how long, but yeah, now even looking here on the 4-hour, same thing, right? We have this double bottom that we have pointed out on whatever day that was, Monday. Um, and now, we pushed up, we pulled back into some support that we're sitting on, right? And then like we're trying to kind of push up some more. It's given some kind of flag here, more like a bearish flag, honestly. It was trying to create a bull flag yesterday, but we just kind of broke through that, fell down. And we didn't take the pole completely out per se. But right now, with that fall from, where were we? 19,376 from that fall, and then kind of like just it like moving along right here, right? It's just kind of giving another bear flag like within this overall, right? But I do watch some other I watch a veteran at times. He doesn't trade live or anything. He literally just has like footprint up in delta, and he always talks about this bulldog kind of like pattern where we have these double bottoms, this potential like neck, and then like this head, right? And supposedly that's like a bullish signal. I don't technically trade it, but I can't deny that I see it in the chart right now, right? So, it's just still a patience game as far as, for me, as far as an overall bias, if the market is currently bearish or bullish, right? I know just from looking on the daily, we still have this bearish downtrend that we haven't completely broken out of. But again, we can't negate that we had this crazy bullish push to the upside, right? A lot of buyers stepped in. They stepped in twice. They stepped in here and we got pushed up and then pulled back down, stepped in the second time, pushed completely up, right? To this imbalance. If we're looking to the left right here, right? There was an imbalance right here in this candle, and that's where price pushed up to, right? And then also looking at this volume node, that's where we rejected from, right? Right at this imbalance. So now, price is kind of having that moment of like, are we going to continue to break to the upside, or are we going to break this support and break to the downside, right? So a lot of different things to consider, but let's go ahead and put our drawings in. Now that we got a little picture without our drawings, we're going to just go ahead and put in our previous day highs and lows. Don't let the drawings scare you. We know that they all have meaning. So our previous day low currently now is 17,909 roughly, right? Roughly. And our previous day high, let's see. It's actually the same because that's right. We rejected from there yesterday, earlier in the morning. But our previous day high is still 19,393. So yesterday was technically, it was an inside bar day as well. And today is also an inside bar. So that's give me consolidation, right? And as we can see, as I was saying, we're currently trading right here. Oops. We're currently trading right here as a, this is like a support zone. We actually have a little block right here. So it's probably like a 4-hour order block or a 15-minute imbalance or something like that, right? Oh, no, it was an imbalance zone. So yeah, I think this was around the 4-hour imbalance. But price is currently trying to hold that. I did put this trend line in here. I'm trying to see why. Oh, we're on the daily, so it's going to look a little crooked. Okay, well, yes, we have this overall red trend line that we, in a sense, rejected from as well. And I pointed that out yesterday, right? We have rejection, we have rejection, we have a rejection, and this area acted as a rejection. And that was an area I was saying we're going to pay attention to because the previous day high right there. We had a 4-hour imbalance right there, and we had that trend line right there, and we rejected from that area, right? And we did point out that since this bullish candle was so strong or big, rather long, it was engulfing, we may retest some of that area. And that's what we did yesterday, right? I personally got stopped out. You know how it goes. I got stopped out. I got stopped out when going in the direction of the overall idea, right? So don't forget, just because we can see these things in the market doesn't necessarily mean that the execution is going to be right on point, right? I more than likely probably oversized where it just pulled back on me and then still went in my favor, right? It just took me out before it went the way I wanted it to go. I had a couple issues with my platform, but other than that, got stopped out yesterday. So, well, I did have a couple issues with the platform, so it wasn't all my fault, okay? But yeah, it happens, right? It happens. Nevertheless, what was I going to say? Yeah, that's what we have on a daily. So let's head over to our 4-hour. Welcome in. Okay, here on our 4-hour. So it looks like, it looks like this trend line kind of got thrown off, the little pink one for some reason. Or let me look at the 1 hour real quick. Okay, no, because we were following these hits at first. It was this. So that's what it was. Because we did fall a few times. You see here we have rejection. This is all rejection off of that pink line at first. Where we fell down here and we traded across it. That's what it was. Fell back to it. Okay, so we've been dancing along it. That's why I kept it in there. Okay, Okay. I was trying to see what was happening, but we were dancing along it, and then we hit it a few times, and other times it became rejection zones again. Oh, excuse me. And then, excuse me one more time. And then we broke across it, and we retested near it, not completely, but retested some of it, and we're pushing back up. Okay, that's what I wanted to see. I was trying to see why that's in there, or why it looks like a little crooked, right? But it's because, price was dancing along it. Okay, so that makes sense. Let me go ahead and move our 4-hour support and resistance. We had them pretty thick so that we could see. All right, currently our resistance is where? Right here at this area that we identified yesterday. I was saying these 2 4-hour lows could be area that we may want to take out, and that's what we did actually end up taking that out. We took out those 4-hour lows. After the market did some kind of it did a couple wicks. It was a lot of wick outs earlier before it completely broke to the downside. But I had marked that area, and I believe on a lower time frame, it's an order block, probably 15-minute order block, 30-minute order block, whatever the case. That is now our current resistance on the 4-hour, which is 18,702, and then we have our 4-hour support here as well at 18,362. And I did point that out also, since this was an area that we had broken out of previously. This right here and became rejection, right? It was the 4-hour imbalance right here that we just kind of pushed through, but we looked on the 15-minute and we saw that price had retested the top of this zone, right here, and then we had shot up, right? But as we see here, I said that it became a resistance at a certain point, right? Looking at these two circles, it was a resistance 2 times, right, in this zone, but we broke through it so quickly, retested it kind of only once. I said it's possible that we may retest that zone again, right? And that's what we did yesterday. We retested it, and now it's became pretty much like an area of support now, right? It was resistance. Now it's become a support. So I'm keeping that in mind as I'm looking for any trades today. Seeing again, it looked like it's sort of bounced off of here a few times already. The previous 4-hour, we bounced out of it, but we hit a resistance, right? Because right now, as we see now, this area that was once a support has become resistance, right? So that's just telling me we're kind of, chopping along. It's like we're in a range right now, right? Not sure how long it could last, right? Because we could break through this range at any given time today, but we do have a little range that I'm looking at currently, right? Let's also see, get some of these gone. So yeah, and then there's a little trend line right here. Also here on the 4-hour where it looks like, it's going to be swiggly because, that's sometimes this marker does that. But you see, we kind of have this, that trend line. And that's what I was saying here too. It's giving me a parallel channel. Right now I have a parallel channel that we're kind of trading within, right? And that's on the 4-hour. So we know we're going to see it on the lower time frame as well. And then overall, another trend line right here, right? That's what price is currently, in a sense, bouncing off of, right? Boingy, right? Are we going to break it, right? Or are we going to continue to push up? I don't know. We don't have a crystal ball. That's the one thing we don't know. So we have to wait on certain confluences, more confirmation, right? Before we take a full stance of where, the market wants to go. Okay, so heading over to the 1-hour. See what we see. All right. So this is what I was pointing out here. This area these were those 4-hour lows that I was saying we could potentially take out yesterday. As you see, we had broke down to it here on that hour. Those are the two, excuse me. It was trading this. I think this is what it was yesterday. It was trading this area. Not sure if we were going to bounce up, from support, or if we were going to go ahead and take it out. But I said it was a possibility just because we had all of this, huge bullish engulfing candle that we could potentially see some, retracement of. And then when we finally decided to, because you see this first 1-hour candle right here. Yeah, that was that 5 a.m. It was like a indecisive candle, right? It's a fuller body, but it's still like a doji candle because we have sort of the equal wicks, high and lows, right? And then that body of the candle was kind of just doing like that. Then the very next candle, same thing at 6 a.m. We had that like opening, and it was kind of, if you were in the trade or watching it, whatever, you would see that there was a lot of different wicks before we finally broke those lows, but then retested as well, right? way back up here, and then came down, and then the story goes, right? I think that sometimes the trick for me is really, size in a certain way where I'm allowing this room for these, sort of wicks to come in. Cause I kind of shifted the way that I trade. I like to get in and get out. I'm a one and done trader. But then some days, you have where prices, taking a little bit longer to give you what it wants to give you. And then it's only doing that because there's a lot of, retesting. There's a lot of liquidity grabs, stop loss grabs, blah, blah, blah. Right. But whatever the case, this is the area that I was mentioning, and we did break through that. But then it's now acting, what I'm trying to say is support. We broke through it and it became our resistance, right? Actually, I want to take this wick right here. It became our resistance, right? And then we have another resistance, right? This was at 11 p.m. PST. So this was right before the start of London session for my time. We rejected it. There's another rejection here, right? We retested it. And then now we're sort of seeing another candle that's starting to try to continue the rejection of this zone, right? But yet again, we still have this strong support down here. So, again, that's just showing me we're kind of just a grinding here in a rotation. We're just rotating, right? From the top to the bottom, top to the bottom. So let's put in our 1 hour support and resistance. But again, that tells me, right, that I just have to be patient. We need to have patience with this market. The spread is pretty wide. We're still pretty volatile. So that means that we have to pay attention to, the size that we use. And when I say this, of course, I'm speaking to myself as well. So our 1 hour resistance is 18,643 thus far. I know you guys can see the purple, but I will draw it in. We have that white line right there. That is our current resistance on this 1 hour. And then our support. All right, give me the candle. Our support is here, sitting above this area that we've already identified as an area, again, that was the resistance, and now it's acting as support. But we have our support here at 18,389. So again, right, this is, and then you can just kind of see it that price is just consolidating. Oh, let me draw it in. Sorry. So y'all can see it. The support is here at, what did I say? 18,389, right? So yeah, as you can see, it's just like this overall consolidation right here, right? We're in between even. You see these blocks. We have our supply zone and we have our demand zone, right? And that's where price is currently trading between. And then also, again, as I said, we do have the trend line, or this, parallel channel that price is also trading in, right? So it's consolidation, right? Find what works for you, right? If our support wants to hold here, then we know that we could potentially see a push back to the upside, right? Because we rejected from this area. Again, we're in this parallel channel, right? But wait for confluences here, because if we break it, then we're going to see some more downside, right? But if we hold it, which price is currently, it's kind of trading slow to the support. And sometimes when the price trades slow towards that area, it just kind of gives some signals that, it's not trying to break it yet. It's just not trying to break it. And then sometimes it's just like, trade what's right here before, you try to trade anticipation rather, right? Because I used to do that a lot. Like I would trade this in anticipation of it breaking, right? Not the confluences, anticipation. So I'm in the trade for it to break, and then it hits this area, maybe take out a low. So, a false break, right? And then go in the other direction. Those are things we want to look out for. And then also for me, sometimes I have my MAs, like the 20 MA, where price is bouncing off of currently right here as well, right? Or little nuances within the chart. I have this dotted white line, well, it's a little pink line that I see, but I'll put the line across. And you see that's like an area for me where whenever I identified, I think it was yesterday, but this line has held this whole time and has acted as a support and resistance line, right? It's like an area where we're, kind of snaking around, right? But we push above it, we pull back to it, push above it, blah, 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 right? So anywho, I would look at these areas. I have my 200, I have the 20, I have a support, I have all these things that's telling me this may be an area of support, caution, right? We may not just break it because you want it to break, right? We may continue to push up first. We don't know. We don't know what the price is going to do. So we just have to be prepared for anything, right? So let me get these ugly lines out the way because I do not like looking at them. Welcome in. Okay, so let's see. I think that's all we have for today. Price did just take out this 1 hour high. The prior candle 1 hour high. So, it may be seeking this 1 hour low. Not sure yet again. Because price is just doing whatever. But we are within the 1 hour support and resistance. We're within the 4 hour support and resistance, like in the we're midway of like both. And then even looking at our volume profile to the side, right? We're in this area. I'll make it bigger again because it was like how it was showing us. I mean, I guess you can still kind of see it, but we're in this area of consolidation, right? There's no gaps. We don't have a gap like down here. We have a gap up here, right? So these are areas so basically, right, we would want to break above here, right, to potentially see some more upside, right? But it depends on how price plays out, right? But we do see that we are currently in this zone with this consolidation right here, right? That's where all of this is where price has been consolidating. That's all that we've been doing. And I was saying, when I had it even bigger, hold on, it was more of like a D shape too, right? So that on the D shape on the profile, it's like a balance. The market is balanced in a sense right now. You have buyers and sellers. One area they buy, one area they sell, right? And we're just going kind of just balancing back and forth. So that's what they call like a rotation. We're rotating back and forth, right? And all of the signals, all of the indicators, everything is telling us that, and price is showing us that as well. So until we kind of break out of this balance, be prepared for maybe some chop or again, rotation. So once we get to a resistance, we may see some sell off. Once we get to a support, we may see some buyers step in. Just be ready for a rotation right now. That's all that I'm seeing currently. Again, we're in this parallel channel. It's just giving me the same vibes. We're just rotating from the upside to the downside, just rotating. So not sure which way we'll go until we break some of these zones. Like we would literally have to break. Let me put that trend line in because we're on a 1 hour. I have a few more minutes. So I did say I saw a trend line from, so, I mean, of course you can have just a trend line. Uh-oh, it's so bright. Sorry, y'all. Y'all can't even see that. I really want to have that trend line from down there. Honestly, I keep pressing the wrong button. I want to have a trend line from here first. Well, not first, but as one. Let's make that bullish. And I'm going to make it super green so you can see it really bright. Okay, so I do have this bottom trend line, right, that I was saying how price is currently bouncing off of. That's one thing to make note of. And I'll go ahead and throw in a top one as well. I'm going to go ahead and catch all of that. Now, not just this one here, just because we've extended it a little bit over time. So let me make that one actually bullish. Oops, not bullish, you guys. What is it? It's bearish, right? Because price is rejecting from it. Okay. So that's what I'm seeing right now, right? So for me, again, breaking above that. So that's the 4 hour resistance, the 1 hour resistance here at like basically around 18,700, right? 4 hour resistance, 1 hour resistance. We have the area that became a support, that was a support, became a resistance, right? Breaking above and the trend line. So breaking above that, then okay, I would be more leaning towards taking a long to fill some of this, this area. We even have An imbalance here on the 1 hour. Let me put that in there. So that would be something that I would be looking towards. And then all the way up here to this other red line as well, right? It's potential that we could see that, but it just depends on how the market goes, if it wants to take that today. And then to the downside as well, I would need to, okay. All right. We would need to break same thing. We're just, same thing. We would need to break this 4 hour support, 1 hour support, this trend line, right? This area that was acting as a resistance and now turned into a support, right? We would need to break all of that for me to potentially see some of this downside, right? And but it still looks like looking to the left. We have some support here on the chart. So, yeah, again, it would be a trade for somebody. It's just, it really depends on how it actually plays out, right? Yeah, because I'm saying that because I just see more support down here, like where these wicks are, right? These wicks pushed off because it gave some area of support. Looking at the volume profile, this area of support, all the support that the market is pushing off of, right? So I'll just be mindful of that if I go to take a short in the market. But yeah, we're just rotating right now. So I hope that gave you some insight for today. Let me move this 4 hour. Oh yeah, so move this up. Our 4 hour MA as well is there where those wicks are. And I only like to have that in there. Right now we're trading above it. So again, if we are to bounce from this trend line, then we could potentially see some upside, right? Because we are above the midway of this 4 hour 20 MA. We're above it, right? That's the 4 hour 20 MA is the mid range of the Bollinger Bands too. Okay. But yeah, pushed up, pull back, pushed up, pull back. Let's see what price wants to do today. I'll have a little patience at open. I don't know if I have to come back to the market later, then I have to come back to the market later, but we'll see. It's tightly kind of wounding up here. So, and sometimes you go to lower time frame, you kind of got to shift your lines after you draw them on the higher time frame. But that's it. That's what I got. Hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful Friday, right? Hope you have a great Friday. Take your time. If you made money in the market this week, awesome. If you didn't, it's okay, right? Go ahead and reflect on all of those things. Just know that you are still doing your best, right? Like the market is the market, okay? We can improve. There's always room for improvement. For me, there's always room for improvement. Again, this is still an assessment account, right? But the point of it is that we continue. We see what works for us. I always say, right, embody what resonates and just discard the rest, right? Totally fine. Like if there's things in here that may help you, cool. If it's things that is too noisy, that's cool too, right? Like I understand that. You don't need all the things that I may need to see what I see in the market, right? But I just like to have a nice overview of what's happening so that I can make a pretty good decision. Most of my bad decisions have been, or not so good decisions have been sizing. That's it. Because I'm looking to get in and get out. Maybe I should let the trade play a little bit longer. I don't want to. I feel like I don't want to. But it is what it is. Room for improvement. There always room for improvement. So have a wonderful rest of your Friday. Have a great weekend. We will be back on Monday. Yeah, there's no holidays or anything. Yeah. I'll be back on Monday, same time, same place, 5:30 a.m. PST. That is 8:30 a.m. EST here with the Futures Desk. Again, if you're not in their Discord, please go ahead and head over to their website so that you can check out their Discord. It may be in the description, I'm not sure. But it's a great place to, kind of build your skills. That's what I would say. It's a really great place to build your skills. And even for some veteran traders, if you're trying to figure out a few things, it's a great place to kind of figure out some of the things. So have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week and day and weekend. All right. See you all soon. Peace out. Sorry, guys. Hey. You're very welcome. Thank you all for joining. You're so welcome. Blessings. Peace out.